is also today's topic, global staffing. I think so far we've talked about some background, the business environment, culture environment, global labor pool, and the last session was about planning, HR planning. Yeah, planning how, whether we would like to hire more people or lay off people and so forth, and then the different conditions. The next step is then staffing. So depending on our planning, we are planning to hire people, then the next logical consequence would be staffing. So some of the key learning objectives today would be to understand how different factors affect global staffing decisions, and then also to learn how to make good staffing decisions in the global business context. I've divided that into 5 or actually 4 different sections or subsections. First, an introduction, also some links to prior lectures. Then we'll talk about key factors affecting global staffing. Then we talk about global recruitment, so one aspect of staffing. And then the second part also, which is considered part of recruitment, would be selection, how to select the candidates then for specific jobs. So starting in the first one, just to give you an overview, what role does global staffing play in the overall HR planning process? So link it to our previous lecture, and also HR planning in general, strategy, planning, and then staffing would follow. And then also what activities are included in global staffing. Global staffing is a rather broad term, and what is all included we'll discuss in a moment. So that figure should be somewhat familiar to you. That's hopefully from last lecture, HR planning. So at the very beginning we have global strategies and plans. At the beginning, and then based on the strategy, we talked about different global strategy. Remember, global strategy, multi-domestic strategy, and so forth. And based on that follows also certain work demand. We need more people or we need less people. And based on that. And then looking into supply, domestic, overseas in different countries, and then also looking into the implementation of it. Global staffing now is mostly concerned with this part here, global demand. So who do we need? And then also to some extent also to the following parts. Based on analysis, evaluations and strategies. Here we have also some kind of overview of staffing as part of the HR planning process. So we have work demands, and then also staffing will follow. So the idea is HR planning. We also talked about short and long term. Remember some of the long term aspects like global leader development and so forth. So that should come first, part of HR planning. You analyze the situation, the current situation in your company, and then you make projection what is next, and both short and long term. And then we would respond to staffing, depending on short term or maybe even long term needs. And then also in parts of planning, we would have the overall, the whole company, or maybe you rather probably go the other way around as well. You have the different teams, different departments, different divisions, different subsidiaries in different countries, and then you will break it down. What kind of jobs, what is all needed, and then based on your planning, you've considered your strategy, then specific job needs, demands, and so forth. Then the next big decision is whether you do it internally, in-house, meaning you recruit people for your company, or very simple, you outsource the activities. So many jobs can be simply outsourced. We talked about outsourcing, offshoring, meaning not your company does it, but you would give the job to another company, outsource it. It can be outsourced and offshore to a different country, service center in, let's say, in India or Philippines, or then provided you decide to do it internally, as you do not outsource, then as a consequence you would have staffing. You would think about how to staff. And then some of the questions would be also time horizon. I mean, first of all, it depends on your needs. You need to fill positions very shortly because you have business demand, you have lots of orders from your customers, you need to increase sales volume, production output and so forth. You need very quickly add people or you can also think about, or just instead of adding people, just using people more, yeah, not allowing holidays, overtime, and so forth, different ways. Yeah, but time horizon is important. We also talked last session about the different time it takes to hire people. This can vary quite substantially across countries. And then also you would look into what are the people you need, what kind of qualification profiles, yeah, or that, and to what extent it's available. And the very basic question is then also the last one that's here, whether you can fill positions internally, yeah, from the people that are working with you, or you will try to find people externally. We talked about the example of Volkswagen batteries. Yeah, remember, Volkswagen now intends to produce batteries themselves. They've never done it before. They've no people who can. That's not correct. They have only few people who have the knowledge and expertise to do so, but they need so many more who have the expertise, and they don't have them internally. You can think, oh, what do? Do you retrain people to develop them so they become expert in this new, different product, technology, and so forth? That will take a lot of time, money, and resources, or we simply hire externally, yeah, from outside, so external recruitment. So that would be all staffing. So the point is here now to put staffing in a broader context. Yeah, staffing includes recruitment. Recruitment is important. Yeah, you need to hire new people, to add new knowledge and this and that, to fill important functions and jobs. Yeah, but the point is here, staffing. The term staffing is much broader than just recruitment. Staffing is not the same. Staffing is a broad concept. Recruitment is just one aspect of it. Yeah, and if you think of staffing, we can think of these different phases. Yeah, staffing would be anything that goes into the organization. Yeah, so that would be typically recruitment. Recruitment also has multiple stages. Yeah, it's also a process in itself. Yeah, includes also HR planning and job specific and so forth. And then you would design job roles, job descriptions. You would post the job. You would attract candidates, and then you would eventually hire people. That's all recruitment process. As part of this recruitment process, also is typically included selection. Because you open a position, people apply, and then you select people that you believe fit best into the job, into your organization. That's one part very important of staffing. Staffing in traditional also includes all this also, not just getting the people into, but also having the people in your organization. And then even later on, getting the people out of the organization. That's all staffing. And particularly if you think once people are already part of your organization, you would think about development or training. Also remember on the previous slide we talked about staffing is you have a choice, internal, external, how you can develop skill set ready or not. Yeah, instead of hiring people from outside, you can develop them internally. Or you can simply transfer them to different locations. So that's very typical for global multinational corporations. You have a vacancy in a foreign subsidiary and that needs to be filled. And one very obvious choice is then you send someone from the headquarters. From the headquarters, middle manager, upper manager, who will then become the top manager of the foreign subsidiary. So that would be transfer, relocation. Or also very common, also promotion. If a position becomes vacant, and then you can, instead of hiring someone to occupy the position, you can simply promote the team member. Team member becomes team leader because team leader left. And that's also very interesting because sometimes this is a chain reaction. Yeah, imagine the CEO is retiring. Then someone needs to become CEO. Maybe CFO becomes CEO. Then CEO position is filled, CFO position is vacant. Someone needs to fill this position. So maybe then you will find some department chief who will become CFO. Then department chief position is open and so forth. It's like really a chain reaction. You need to fill all these different positions. In multinational corporations, the interesting part is that you can also, particularly here, relocate. You can transfer people from one country to the other. We will talk quite a bit about expatriation, foreign assignments. Yeah, and that also initiate sometimes some kinds of chain reactions, yeah, and then how to fill these various positions in sequence. And then also you can think very simple of reward systems, yeah, how you can develop or motivate people to simply enlarge jobs. Sometimes it happens, someone retires, yeah, that's also part of staffing. We have a retirement, a typical mandatory retirement could be at age 65. Could be at age 60. I think we briefly talked about that in one of our earlier sessions. There's quite some variation across countries. In some countries, they retire at age 67, in some countries at age 55 or 60. Yeah, but no matter the age, someone retires. Instead of hiring a new person, quite often you don't. Instead, you split the work of one person, spread it across maybe 5 people, and then each takes some job roles in order to save cost. So then maybe that will be reflected in different reward system or otherwise, or some kind of development. And then, of course, we also have layoffs. Layoffs we talked about last session. Sadly, we see quite a number of layoffs in the US, in the UK, and many countries across the world because we are approaching recession or already facing recession in several markets. So the main point I want to make here is staffing is not only recruitment. It includes the whole process, and all these aspects are important. Now, however, today's session, we focus on these aspects, because we will talk more about promotion or reward system development training in the later sessions. So today, we focus on this aspect, staffing in general, but then more specifically on recruitment and selection. And in the following sessions, we will then also talk specifically about international assignments, so relocation transfers internationally. We will talk also about training and development, and we will also talk about compensation in the later sessions. We will not talk so much about the layoffs and retirements here in this session, in this lecture, even though that's also very important. So let's conclude. Global staffing. Business is globalizing, and as business is globalizing, we have global multinational corporations. Staffing becomes much more global, entails all kinds of complexities, opportunities, and challenges. And some of the ideas is also here, strategies should be aligned, and we have many internal and external effects that have important consequences or implications for global staffing. All right, with that, I would like to finish today, and